Café Anyway. La la la.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
FF episode 2749. Thank you for listening to the podcast that is daily. It's the only one in the world that's hosted by Mike.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I guess there's some other Mikes that do daily podcasts, but they don't call theirs Mike's Daily Podcast because I'm unawares of anybody else, but that's okay. If you do, you can let me know. The phone number is something that starts with a 510, and then I think it's 228-4640.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Call in with your request and dedication. That's what I used to say all the time on the radio. If you'd like to hear my K-Hey days, the
Mike's
last podcast
Daily
featured that
Podcast
in the segment called Let's Go Back with Matthews. And today's podcast, we will cover things here at Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in the country known as Ameritopica. Americornucopia.
The Fascinating Material Project.
FM Project.
I don't know. Let's find out together, shall we? But I think the question you're really asking yourself is, what is it like to be Ryan Gosling? Ryan Gosling, who is 43 and just had the biggest movie of a lifetime anyone would ever want.
You will travel into the incredible universe.
Awesome.
He made a sweet tribute to his longtime partner and fellow actor Eva Mendes while accepting the Kirk Douglas Award for Excellence in Film. This was at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. Now, when I lived in Santa Barbara, and I was going to school there at UC Santa Barbara, and I was on the radio at Y97 KHTY, we did not have an international film festival. I think that started somewhere, maybe the 90s. And little by little, as TV shows like Psych were being filmed in Santa Barbara, or they alleged they were actually being filmed in Canada, and other movies were getting popular like...
And here's today's podcast picture.
What's the Meryl Streep, Alec Baldwin movie? This podcast picture is not of them, but it is of yours truly, Mike Matthews, hanging out at this wonderful... What is this brewery called? It's the Almanac. My friend Kevin, Addendum with Kevin, works there, and he's getting married soon. Congratulations. And we are going to go to the wedding. It's going to be awesome. And we're looking at clothes today. My lovely lady friend and I are getting all excited. Look, do these shoes look better or these shoes? That kind of thing. The late great Basil the Boxer didn't like that kind of shoe shopping stuff. It's like, come on, can we get through this? Do I have to go to DSW? I hate that part of my brain dies when I go to DSW. Why? But yes, back to Ryan Gosling. He said, and this was at this film festival in Santa Barbara on Saturday. Through acting, Gosling said, most importantly, I got to meet the girl of my dreams, Eva Mendes, and have 2 dream children. They met while filming the movie The Place Beyond the Pines. Do you remember that one from 2012?
The Cutting Corners Corner.
The Cutting Corners Corner! And this is not good.
Hey kids, it's me.
This came from the Daily Wire.
Do-re-mi the clown.
There was a record-breaking number of law enforcement officers shot in the line of duty in 2023. As if they don't have it tough enough. Is it difficult enough for them? This was according to the National Fraternal Order of Police. There were 378 officers shot. That was a 60% increase since the Fraternal Order of Police began tracking data back in 2018. The data also showed that, sadly, 46 officers were killed. So just keep that in mind in this world of, well, you know how people feel about the police. So, and some are bad. There are some bad police people, but still.
The Marco Minute. The Marco Minute.
If you're in that line of work, I wish you luck. Thank you for coming to Café Anyway and hanging out, because we're at Ameritopica with all these topics flying around.
A fine article.
You silly, great, fat article.
House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan, he's a Republican from Ohio, said that Hunter Biden faces serious stuff with contempt of Congress proceedings. All right, so what is going to happen with the president's son? He says that the GOP leader spoke to Fox News anchor Maria Bartiromo on Sunday Morning Futures about what consequences Biden might face for refusing to comply with congressional subpoenas as part of the corruption-focused impeachment inquiry against President Joe Biden. But it's the whole thing is he wants to be out in the open. He doesn't want any of this stupidity behind the doors type things. He wants this all out, way out, everybody to see what's going on. Isn't that what we were doing with when they were looking into? I remember they were publicizing all the stuff when they were talking to the people. What was that commission? The January 6th commission peoples.
The word of dog. The Daily Haley. The almost Daily Haley.
Let's move on. The Republican Ohio Governor Mike DeWine. I'll say DeWine. I'll do it the German way, even though DeWine is not. It's DeWine. Is he DeWine? He issued an emergency executive order Friday banning child gender transition surgeries.
Whoa. Mike's Matthewsman Park.
The front panel will close automatically. Please remain seated at all times.
In Ohio, dubbed the SAFE Act, S-A-F-E, the original bill that DeWine rejected would have also prohibited physicians from prescribing cross-sex hormones or puberty-blocking medicine to kids. As we go outside a Café Anyway, where we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth.
Anyway.
The legislation also banned men in women's sports, offering a legal recourse to students forced to play against the opposite sex. The new order would bar physicians from performing gender transition surgeries such as mastectomies and hysterectomies on kids in Ohio's hospitals and healthcare facilities. That's what's happening in Ohio, not happening in California. But there is a lot of outrage because there was someone who did get a mastectomy, a young person, and now they regret it. So that is like the case study that people are looking at.
Magnification.
And DA Matthew Graves looks to target those who stood outside of the Capitol on January 6th. The U.S. attorneys of the District of Columbia, Matthew Graves, suggested that law enforcement will soon target those who just stood outside the Capitol on January 6th. During a press conference this week, Graves hinted that Americans who didn't even go inside the Capitol building on January 6th could still lead to thousands of arrests. That seems a little much. It was the people that went inside and caused damage. That seemed to be the most ridiculous. And I am not one of those people that go, oh, well, they were just celebrating. They were just trying to make a point. That's what it is to be an American, to protest. And then those same people get all crazy when they see the riots that happened during George Floyd. It seems a little, but yeah, that's rare. And then Democrat reactions to Claudine Gay's resignation.
Ginormous.
Oh, they're calling it victimhood mentality. Well, I know a particular person running for president now who uses a lot of victimhood mentality. They're always coming after me. I'm always on the warpath. They're always on the warpath after me. Oh, look who's back. Let's see, it's from the Washington Examiner. So, it's going to be pretty right-leaning. Outside a Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
And now we return you to our regularly scheduled program with Mike Matthews.
Look who is out here right now outside of the cafe, having so much fun.
Mike's out of left Field recordings.
Recording everything captures actions that will never again be repeated.
Oh, gosh. There it goes.
Magnification.
You know,
I'm doing some heavy breathing into the mic.
that is not allowed on Mike's Daily Podcast.
What kind of podcast is this?
I have no idea. Oh, we talk about topics here in Amera Topica. Oh, look who's here. You in just in time. Hello, Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift house surpriser. Hi, lovely lady friend. How are you?
Hey, Chely. I'm good. How are you?
What were you doing?
I was jogging.
What are you doing?
Right now?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
We love you, Mike.
What are you doing?
I'm asking you questions. What are you doing?
Is this a game?
Do you go for jogs? Do you go for a jog?
Multiple jogs? No, just one jog.
Do you want to go jogging sometime?
Sure, Chely.
Let's go jogging together.
Okay. When do you want to go?
Let's go soon. I'm free tomorrow.
All right. I might need to give my legs a little rest, but maybe the day after?
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay.
What's your phone? Here, I'll call you. You call me, and then I'll text you, and you can text me back, and then we'll have each other's numbers.
Oh, what are you doing, Chely?
Texting your number, and you text my number back, and then we bounce it off a satellite, and it comes back to you, and then we send. I write it down on a piece of paper, put it in a bottle, and throw it in the ocean.
Oh, wow.
Then you'll have my number.
This is getting really complicated.
Isn't that what you do, my grandpa?
Maybe we'll go on a jog in about 30 years when someone finds the note.
I'm going to look great when I'm really old.
That's fabulous.
That's right, Chely. You have a positive attitude. That's right, Mike Matthews. Hey, you know what I just observed with you two getting ready to go jogging?
Yeah?
And I noticed that women like to say, hey, let's go for a walk sometime. That's like, and that's great because it's all about getting out there and getting your steps in and talking to each other. And it's fun. Isn't it fun? So fun.
Yes.
That women do that.
That's right, Chely. Do you want to go to the bathroom with me?
Sure. Okay, let's go.
Let's go to the bathroom together.
Why do women do that too? I don't understand that. That's a little creepy. That's crazy.
Well, if you insist on stereotyping us, my love.
Why do women do that? Why do all women do that? I don't know. There's a bunch of topics.
Do you want to go to the bathroom with me, love? Come, let's go.
Okay. Wait a minute. I am mostly German. And I think a lot of Germans have been known to. Anyway, we're getting into all kinds of topics today.
What? Germans have been known to what?
They're just the weird things.
What, in the bathroom?
I don't know. They have very clean bathrooms, is what I'm saying. Look who else is here. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. I have no idea what he's talking about today, lovely lady friend. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're covering a bunch of topics today.
Good to see you, John Deere and Floyd.
Woo! It's really great to see you, lovely lady friend. I heard you got some new shoes.
I did.
That's awesome. Shoes are great.
In fact, Mike helped me pick them out.
Mike, how did you do that? Well, she made it easy for me. She had two different types of shoes, and she said, which one do you like better? And I said, okay, that one. And she said, good. I like them too. So I won. Yay. And she's got a great shoe. And it's comfortable. That's the important thing.
Very comfortable. Did you tell them what I can do with it, love?
Magnification.
Take it off and then hammer in a nail.
I could. I can run in them.
You can run in them.
I can kick.
You can. That's right. You can kick. You can stretch. Where did you get that I can kick thing? Was that the Molly Shannon
It
thing?
was.
Oh,
yeah.
Lovely lady friend. I'm so glad you're here. The funniest thing lovely lady friend showed me was John Mayer in some kind of cat cafe.
Yeah.
And was it China, Japan, or something?
I think in Japan.
And he's
in Tokyo.
He's talking to, is it Adam Cohen?
Adam Cohen and Anderson Cooper.
Anderson Cooper. And Anderson Cooper is laughing. He's not even talking. It's Cohen that's doing all the questions. And Anderson Cooper's laughing like a little panda bear.
Yeah.
Like,
It was so cute.
and John Mayer is so deadpan and funny.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Vince Vaughn. And who did you say he reminded you of?
Of Steph's Matthew.
Oh, your friend Steph's Matthew. Yes, the musician. The musician.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Finally, we got to talk about that because that was funny.
That was pretty funny.
And you showed me Conan O'Brien when he was when Trump was president.
Greenland.
And Trump wanted to buy Greenland. Maybe he'll buy Greenland if he becomes president again. Here's the big question to everybody listening who have gotten this far. If Trump is reelected, does that mean technically... Sorry. I know. I didn't mean to even... but still...
I suddenly got nauseous.
If he did, would he technically be able to have 2 terms? Because doesn't that reset everything if you've had a term in between the one term? I don't know.
I don't know.
But then he'd be really, really old. Not even Biden old. He'd be super...
He'd be pushing 90.
He'd be Gandalf old.
Gandalf old.
He'd
be pushing 90.
But he can still kick.
And stretch.
And kick. Lovely lady friend, if people would like to call in about anything we covered today on this extremely political podcast, here's the phone number.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
And with more ways to get in contact with us here at Mike's Daily Podcast, there at Café Anyway, here is Ariel with all the other information that we usually end the podcast with.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.